Hey people, this is Psalms 4, and I read that first line in a movie called Nilly Tilly. So this is written like headlines, like the news comes on and it's telling you the headlines, it's a song. They'll come on first and they'll just shoot through all the headlines of the times. And that's what this says right here. They tell you that the Bible was put together in the court of Nicaea. And that's what this is. In nigh. You said this mark here lets you know it's reading nigh and then backwards with a sia. And it means been, in the time of in the cycling and to sea. And it's the sea as in the ocean and the sea as in the times the sea in Nicaea. And they'll say this is men, but they don't know what it means. It could mean man, male, contrast a woman, husband, human being, person, servant, mankind, champion, a great man, whosoever, each. They don't know what this means, but it reads in Nicaea. And it means in the times to see. Being in the time to see. In Nicaea is the way that would come out, though, and that's where your word Nicaea is where that council was. In Nicaea had them, A-D, and then E-M-E, had them the covet. Had them the covet, up in your covets, and then backwards after this, of U-V, the covet of kitty. The kitty is all the collection in the pot there. You ante up into the kitty. You're building the kitty. In Nicaea had them covered of kitty. It was collecting all the kitty, collecting all the money in Nicaea. Of claim, L of K-L-M-E. Of claim it, in two T's. Of claim it, tis. And so the second T goes with the A-E here, is. A is ash, so T-E-S. And this is where your word heaven come from. People didn't understand how to read that. E, have, when you will you love. But the claim it is of in, to claim it of in. Rift it, your worthlessness. Rift, R-I-F-T, is a tear in your sail, It's a rift is where your word drift come from. The 7 continental drifts. And the rift of fissure, the rift of fissure. The drift in the fissure is what is the crack in between the rifts. And then this word keys, like I said, it's usually just KZB, but this time it has the mark. And so it reads KZKVZN. And the rift and fissure, KZ cause, and then KVZ caves in cellar. In Nicaea, in the times to see had them covered of kitty. Of claim it is of in, of when. The rift and fissure cause caves in cellar. And would of give, and then Ella, her, the pulp. It reads the line here, E-L-E, Ella, the pulp. So the pulp, P-L-P. Pulp, is to raise. It's where your word pulpit comes from. To pulp, to raise it. You'll see it on a bow platform for harpooning is called the pulpit, but it's a raised platform. Would of give, Ella the pulp, you each, she, backwards here, and then the other side, D-I-S-I-D. You each decide, him who is godly, the ones who's making the decisions. You each, she decide. It, Lou, it, he, sheer, it. Lou, it, you. You the ism, the belief, to see in very well, in very will, and that's something. There's something on the boat, the officer, the captain says, when he asks a question and you answer it, very well, all right, good, this is done, very well, to the end. And so it's playing with words, in ferry, is the ship that transports in very will, to believe, to see in very will. And so it's talking about, the queen was collecting the pulp. You make orange juice and the big chunks rise to the top. And so it starts, with that, with the goat. The goat was the church, and they were toting the tilly. So he started, with his thoughts about this, before the Johnny in the jar, the Fabiella, in the jar, the beans. And so he's trying to tell you that what he thinks about it. He thinks it stinks, And the butt sits her chair it inhabit. The queen, her butt sits her in the chair inhabit. Inhabit the tilly, a nanny to use from to pull it. And so it's talking about the queen using the church, to pull the nanny, the goat is the church, using the goat to pull the tilly. The till is the money, the till, how you steer the people. And in Nicaea had them covered. They took all the money, and they said, did they claim it? It was tests of when the rift in fissure caves in the cellar, they lost all the money, is what their claim was. They claimed it all fell into the earth, and they screwed the queen out of her cut. And we would have give Ella the pulp. We would have give Ella the pulp. You eat, she decide of to, Lou, it, he, she, you the ism, you the belief to see in very well. You do a good job in very well. Carry the will of the belief. So Ella doesn't mean Elizabeth. Ella was was the name for Greece. Used to be Helen, and that's short for Helen, Ella. And she was the daughter of Athmas, was a Boeotian king. And her mama was a cloud nymph, and that's what we get our word Nephilah, the Nephilah clouds. And the meaning is a beautiful fairy maiden. And the bloodline, it keeps going down. It's Eleanor, Elizabeth, Hebrew to Ella. And this is the base word for the majority of the words they say mean God in the Hebrew Bible. It's word 430, Strong's word 430, the Elohim. It comes up many different ways with the Ella always in there. You can see here Deuteronomy 32:17, God to gods, Elah. And they try to hide this. It comes up many times, and they'll mix it up in a bunch of other words that are spelled different. But this is the main thing they're trying to hide. And they, most of the time, they'll just give it the meaning this or these. And every time, it says this is the count of the heavens, or these are the names of the sons. There's 320 times here, it's Elah. Ella told what? Ella told it. Ella told it the generations of Shem. And half the world ain't getting it, but the same people that were hanging people for trying to translate the Bible from any other Latin script, are the same people that authorized the King James Bible. Lizzy and the goat. Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.